Good evening. With the time being 7:16, I'd like to call the Government Operations Committee to order on this beautiful Monday of February 3rd. Can I please have roll call?
Bester.
Here.
Weber.
Here.
Vokaitis.
Here.
Folks.
Here.
Bungard.
Here.
Munns.
Here.
Lencioni.
Yes.
Gem.
Here.
Petrilla.
Here.
Werball.
Here.
All right, thank you very much. First up, we have, I'm looking for a motion and a second for the omnibus of item 6A.
So moved.
Moved by Folks, seconded by Lencioni. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that carries. Next up, we have item 5A. We have a presentation from Bill Hanna in regards to St. Charles History Museum request for funding for $60,000. I'm assuming you'll make the intro?
I will absolutely make
Wonderful.
the intro, Chair Weber. Thank you. As part of our annual budget process, we do have funding presentations from outside organizations. So tonight we have the St. Charles History Museum as well as the St. Charles Business Alliance to give a presentation. So I'm happy to introduce the Executive Director for the History Museum, and I will turn it over to him as soon as I can remember how computers work. Here we go. There we go. Did he get it, or did I do something wrong again? Gotcha. All right, thanks.
Okay, good evening, City Council members, Mayor Vitek, and the City of St. Charles. On behalf of the St. Charles History Museum and the Board of Directors, I would like to give our sincerest gratitude to the city's continued funding and support. For our financial support, as well as support from the Public Works and your belief in our mission, we are eternally grateful for the work that the City of St. Charles does for us. I would like to thank our Board of Directors from 2024, and a special thanks to Mary Lynn Swanson for leading our board this past year, as well as leading us in the future in 2025. So this is our mission statement, and I could put it simply that our mission at the St. Charles History Museum is to collect, preserve, and present our local history. And to do that, we follow our values of heritage, community, inclusivity, stewardship, education, and research. Now, we couldn't do this without our committees, and the committees are the backbone of the museum, and the volunteer members of the committees are the heartblood. In 2024, we added the Finance Committee to assist with budgeting and maintaining a sound financial position, and I want to thank everybody who's on all of our committees, as well as all of our volunteers and interns. We had 2 interns this past year, along with numerous volunteers, both in the museum and outside. Also, special thanks to Emma, our liaison at the library, as we do a lot of work with the library as well. In 2024, it was a great year for our museum, and it started with the acquisition of a new 350 36-inch roll printer, which allowed us to print all of our exhibit materials and presentation materials in-house, which allowed us to not have to use an external vendor, so it saved a lot of money for us. Our event season started with our History Rocks event at the Arcata Theater. The museum partnered with the Park District, being docents on the riverboats for tours for the last Sunday of every month during the tour season. And we also hosted a musical cruise in September on the riverboats, featuring the local folk rock band of Ransom Creek. Our 2 major exhibits in 2024 were High Frequency, the evolution of the Duquesne Corporation, and we also followed that up in the fall with Harmonies of the Heartland, the musical legacy of St. Charles, which is the history of music in St. Charles. We then partnered with the library and radio historian Steve Darnell to present Windy City on the Air, Chicago in the Golden Age of Radio, which is held in the Carnegie Room at the Public Library to a sold-out crowd. We again partnered with the Park District to present Pickle Paradise at the Potawatomi Park over the summer, as St. Charles is the pickle capital of the world. In the fall, we welcome 93 guests to Grave Reminders, a guided walking tour at the North Cemetery, presenting the history of 9 local residents who unfortunately passed away, and were performed by volunteers. Some are in-house tonight. To close out the year, we held our 4th annual holiday gala back to the 80s at the Hotel Baker, which brought in 50% more revenue than our previous year. Finally, we hosted numerous school groups, including Compass Academy, the District 303 Special Education Transition, multiple Montessori and homeschool groups, as well as Rising Lights, which supports adults with special needs. We also hosted numerous Cub Scout, Girl Scout, Boy Scout groups, and also over the summer, we hosted the Park District summer camps. So in accordance with our agreement with the city for our funding, we consider ourselves ambassadors to the city in everything that we do. Our events are positive, family-oriented, and open to all community members and represent the city of St. Charles in the best way. We had 126 people attend our 4th annual gala. 90 people attended our History Rocks event at the Arcata Theater, which was a sellout. More than 90 people attended our Grave Reminders Cemetery Tour, which is up 15% from the last time we did it in 2002. And more than 40 people registered for our inaugural Music on the Riverboat Tour. We had great programs at the Public Library, the Windy City on the Air, along with great response as docents of the St. Charles paddle boats, which again was held the last Sunday of every month. And again, over 400 people attended the Pickle Paradise, which was held at Potawatomi Park. At this time, I want to thank our community partners, especially the City of St. Charles, the St. Charles Park District, the Business Alliance, which is here today, and multiple others around the city. Our new corporate partnership program launched in October this past year, and we had 5 companies join before the end of the year, and our ambition is to grow this 2-3-fold in the next year. Finally, I want to have a special thanks to our local businesses who have supported us both in events and exhibits throughout this year at the museum, and look forward to working with them in the future. So our Holiday Gala fundraiser, which is our 4th annual, was held at the Hotel Baker this year, as many of you may know, and we celebrated back to the 80s. The turnout was amazing, and we made just under $32,500, which again was about 50% more than we made in our previous year. Now looking forward to 2025, we're going to start with our first exhibit displaying local historic art and artists from St. Charles. Now, this is an expansion of a pop-up that we did during the Fine Arts exhibit this last year. It got rave reviews, so we wanted to have a full exhibit of it this year. We'll then transition into the history of Indigenous peoples in the area, and this will happen in May. We'll also be continuing our guided riverboat tours on the Fox River, along with more guided walking tours along along Main Street in downtown St. Charles, hoping to do this about every 2 weeks during the summer, during the weekends. And again, we will be doing Grave Reminders along with other events throughout the season, which has not been scheduled just yet. Now, in addition to being our community's history museum, we are also the one-stop shop for all things St. Charles. From home decor to apparel, people have visited us from literally all over the country to purchase St. Charles gifts and souvenirs. This year we brought back a hot item that people have been asking for, which was the throw blanket, which you see here in the middle, which displays popular and historic landmarks from around the city. We also brought in 2 ornaments this year. One is a standard ornament that will be throughout the year, which is the fox. The second is the one with the S, which has a date on the back. We'll be doing this every year during the holiday season with a new design and the date on the back for people to pick up every year. So as we move to the financials, you will see that our revenue has continued to increase year over year. And you'll also notice on this slide that our expenses exceeded our revenue. Well, this is due to the fact that we had to pay for 2 galas in the fiscal year 2024. Our gala from 2023, the expenses hit in January of 2024. And this year we had to prepay for our gala in 2024. So essentially we were paying for 2 galas in 1 year. And this will not happen in the future, and had that not occurred, the lines would be flip-flopped, and we would have actually shown a $8,000 increase in revenue. Now, our continued increase in revenue the past years has allowed our board of directors to be confident and comfortable with our projected revenue for the fiscal year. Also, our expenses should stay in line with the budget, as we will not have any unforeseen expenses like having to pay for a second gala. So throughout the years, city funding has been a decent portion of our funding. In 2024, last year, we asked an increase from $50,000 to $60,000, which was a big jump. This increase was approved and was instated in May, and the resulting net funding was about $57,000. For 2025, we'll be asking for the same amount, $60,000. And this chart displays that the funding of the city remains about 1/3 of our revenue, even though we're increasing funding from fundraising grants in our gift shop and donations. It's still it's a substantial amount that we really depend upon. Now, our investment account increased $10,000 this past year, and though we weren't able to put anything into it this year, this is just because of the market, we will be putting any balance or any revenue overture into the investment account. And this investment account is very important for us. In 2024, we did have to draw upon it when the payment for the 2 galas hit our bank account. We had to draw from our investment account, but fortunately, we were able to reinvest that money back into our investment account. So what are we asking for the St. Charles to approve funding for in 2025? Well, as you can see, we've made some significant commitments to improving how we deliver our mission statement to collect, preserve, and present the history of St. Charles. We want to continue to improve on our commitment to the community by increasing our outreach so that more people can experience the wonderful history of our city. The continued funding will allow us at the museum to improve our outreach with assistance from local marketing firm. And the funding will also help us with our new March into History, March is History Month initiative to increase exposure of the museum to everyone in the community. Finally, the funding from the city will allow the museum to remain fully staffed throughout the year and to serve our community again in collecting, preserving, and presenting our unique local heritage. At this point, I want to thank you all very much for your time, and I'm open to any questions that you all may have.
Great. Hold on a second. Alex,
Yes.
Thank you very much for the presentation, and obviously any members from the board. I know I see Mary Lynn back there. Obviously, all the programming looks like it's working really good, so I appreciate what you guys have been able to do.
Thank you.
With that, go ahead, Mr. Folks.
Yeah, I really appreciate everything the History Museum does. Looking at the chart here where it talks about revenue sources and all that, is it possible for us to get a line item budget of where all the money goes?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that would be great just to see for my own visual. I know you guys do great things, but just to see like, hey, we're taking so much here, considering we're donating, would love to see that in the future, so thank you.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Ron.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Say, as a member and have donated money over the years, and I just want to say thanks for all your work, and say I've also donated items to the museum over the years too. So I think you're doing a great job. We always got to remember our history of St. Charles before we move forward.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ryan.
So $219,000 is a lot of money, but it's not. You know, you talk about all the work that you guys are doing, but can you, to Mark's point, can you walk us through very high level where that money, I mean, so, you know, staffing, utilities, you mentioned events, marketing. I mean, to run an organization like that 12 months out of the year, the mission that you guys have for the community, when you think about, you know, any organization, $219,000 goes really fast. I'm just curious if you can give us kind of an idea of very high level what's it broken down into?
Well, the number one budgetary item is payroll. I mean, for myself and for the 2 hourly staff members that we have, who are our collections manager and our assistant who is up front. That's the major line item right there. Obviously, utilities is a big one. Acquisition of items that we have throughout the city that people bring in, and events. You know, it does cost money to raise money, so that's where the main budget is. I think the major line item is payroll.
Okay. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, Alex, thanks for your presentation. Again, like Ron mentioned, I'm a member. I've donated some items as well. So I appreciate what you do, and, you know, the museum's really close to my heart, and it's important to what you guys do for the city, so thanks.
Thank you, David.
Any more questions or comments? Questions? Go ahead, Mr. Lencioni.
Yeah, first of all, just thank you. You do a great job. I think it's incredibly important, what you do. One thing that I want to make a comment, kind of how we're doing things up here, is I appreciate you as a volunteer organization that does your own fundraising. I'm glad that we have somebody who sits, we have a liaison, we have board members. I just want to say to everybody up here, with non-governmental bodies, and I'm speaking from my own experience, you guys have a terrific board, very talented people. You know, if I have questions about line items to your budget, I'll come and talk to you, because I always see, as we're supporting you, as, you know, we give fiduciary duty to you guys to self-manage, and we'll make a judgment, you know, on how fundamental we think you are to the community, and base funding on that. I think you guys are absolutely terrific. You've done a great job with the money. I want to appreciate that, but I also want to encourage people up here, you know, if I have questions about your budget, I'll come see you rather than asking you to go through line by line with me here. Because without being a department of the city, I don't usually think that's the right way to do it, but thank you.
Thank you.
Jamie, go ahead.
I just want to thank you for presenting this again. As a member, I did get to sit through the membership presentation, so this is not new for me. I think that you have done a really fantastic job with not only the collections that you have, but also the gift shop where my family spends way too much money. So you can get some more coffee cups and kind of running out of new ones. But this is a really nice, especially this bar graph really does show that you're finding new ways to raise that revenue, and I think you're doing a good job with that volunteerism as well. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Warball.
Thank you for your presentation. The History Museum is certainly an asset to our community, and I just want to thank you for preserving our history, St. Charles history. It's very important to us. So, and my mom is enjoying the throw blanket, so thank you for that. Very, very nice. So with that, I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
So I have a motion by Warball, seconded by Petrilla. All those in favor of awarding $60,000 to the History Museum, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. I didn't think so. The ayes have it. That motion passes.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good job. Thank you.
Next up, we have item 5B. It looks like Derek's going to make a little quick intro, and then Jenna Sawicki's going to make a presentation.
Good evening. Similar to the last item, this is just a...
Hold up for like a minute. Let's just kind of let the crowd
sit out.
Yep. They're going to be noisy.
It will be.
That was what.
Oh, okay. What's over 20 talk? There's not audio here, right?
Well, like,
I'll see you, it's like 25. When you're ready for the music. Yeah.
well, that's abstract.
She feels good.
I'm not aware of what events happening. You know what I mean, like.
Go ahead, Derek.
Similar to the last item, this is a funding presentation from the St. Charles Business Alliance. They will be requesting $830,000 this year. This is an increase of $32,400. Just as a reminder, this comes from two different funding sources. The first one would be the SSA 1B, which is $272,000, and the remainder, which is $558,000, would come from the hotel motel tax. And with that, I will turn it over to Jenna Sawicki. She's going to give a presentation on the highlights of the activities of the past year and the upcoming events for this upcoming year.
Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.
Hello, Jenna.
Hi. Hello, Chairman Weber and committee. I'm here today to give an update on what the St. Charles Business Alliance has accomplished for our 2024-2025 fiscal year. We look forward to continuing to partner with the city to showcase all that St. Charles has to offer to locals and to visitors. As a destination marketing organization, we promote the city as an appealing travel destination and a vibrant place to live and work. By driving travel, we boost the economy, create opportunities for our community, and as the famous quote goes, it all starts with a visit. Here's the Alliance mission, which reads, to drive economic growth to make the St. Charles community a destination where people, businesses, and tourism thrive. And in front of you is a list of our staff. We're lucky to have such a strong and passionate team, all of which are here tonight. And here's a list of our current board of directors. We're fortunate to have a well-balanced group of leaders representing our community. And here's a look at our volunteer-driven committees. Our community's passion and dedication are what makes these committees so special. These groups meet monthly with their chair setting goals for each year, helping us track progress. We are so fortunate to have such a supportive community. Okay, so we're going to start this year with going over the highlights from our marketing committee. Our marketing committee is chaired by Amanda Stevens, and the next several slides will go over the major accomplishments that the committee has accomplished during this fiscal year. Our social media has grown a lot this year. We've gained over 3,000 new followers, bringing us to over 35,000 across all platforms. Our influencer program has been highly successful, as shown by the data in front of you. Additionally, we've supported other local nonprofits by cross-promoting their efforts, helping to expand their reach and impact. Our app saw growth this year as we are narrowing in on 10,000 downloads. We created 4 new campaigns and added the Tortilla Tour, which featured and highlighted all 13 of our local Mexican restaurants in St. Charles. To go along with our apps, 2 new digital kiosks were installed in the plaza. As you can see in front of you, they had over 63,000 event counts in the last year. These have become great ways to market our businesses as they are all highlighted and categorized on the app and the kiosk. The kiosks are also something that we receive the most amount of inquiries about from other communities. This shows that the St. Charles continues to be an innovative leader in destination marketing. Here are some highlights from our newsletter, blog, and podcast. We're proud of the analytics that we were able to pull in this year, all of which exceeded our goals. On this slide, you can see photos from our podcast and all the businesses and community groups that we were able to help showcase this year. We had 38 episodes, celebrated our 6th anniversary of the podcast, and had an 81% increase in total listens. Our new dining guides, which should all be in front of you, launched last week. St. Charles continues to expand its culinary scene, and we are able to have these guides at our visitor centers and hotel lobbies and give them to wedding parties who are celebrating in St. Charles. Our website had over 116,000 visits this year, which surpassed our goal. We continue to stay on top of the information on our website in order to be able to serve the community and make it easy to find businesses and explore all things St. Charles has to offer. And then I'd just like to highlight a couple of the campaigns we launched this year, starting with our efforts for the Plaza launch. These included the kiosk, which I mentioned before, running targeted Google and Facebook ads, and organizing photo shoots that captured the beautiful images that you see here. It also included collaborating with influencers. Through these efforts, we were able to reach over 53,000 people and are excited to continue to drive traffic into them this coming summer. Some of the other campaigns we did included the Spring Shop Crawl, which spotlighted our growing retail scene. We also highlighted our Fox River and holiday commercials, both of which exceeded expectations. These commercials were aired and streamed across various platforms, effectively reaching our target demographic. Looking ahead to the coming year, our goals are centered around expanding programs that align with our mission and provide meaningful support to both our businesses and the community. Our Business Development and Sales Committee is chaired by Sharon O'Leary, and in front of you is a list of their year-end highlights. We continued our highly attended broker networking events and continued to do new business reach out with a focus on industrial and manufacturing. We also launched our 3rd round of the Made in St. Charles program, which we brought before you last month. And here are the highlights from our local business and development and sales efforts. We strengthened relationships with hotels, facilitated bookings, hosted mixers, and partnered with the city on retention visits. Additionally, we collaborated with the city on the Downtown St. Charles Occupancy Report and the Industrial Business Occupancy Report. And here's a listing of the collaborations with community events and programs. We assist organizers through marketing, business connections, and even on-site presence at events, creating a win-win for both the events and the local businesses. Our staff has excelled in building community relationships, strengthening audience, and ensuring easy access of information, and we increased this number of collaborations this year by over 35%. This year, our sales team traveled to conferences to showcase St. Charles, including Connect Marketplace in collaboration with the Q Center. Their team highlighted the Q Center's exceptional facilities and services, while we promoted St. Charles as the perfect destination for trainees for when they leave campus. Many of you likely saw the Q Center buses this summer bringing hundreds of corporate trainees to the First Street Plaza to shop, dine, and enjoy our downtown. Outlined before you are the sales team's goals for 25-26. We will continue meeting with the local hotel teams and align strategies and opportunities. Additionally, we're excited to strengthen relationships with the St. Charles commercial brokers, supporting efforts to close deals that attract new businesses and make St. Charles an even more desirable destination. We're now going to go into events, but we're going to go start by going over attendance. I came before you in 2024 to go over Placer AI and the data that we have now access to, so we're going to start with that. This graph illustrates the significant impacts of our events, showing that they bring the highest number of visitors to downtown during these periods. More visitors lead to increased spending, which in turn generates more tax revenue. Aligning with our ultimate goal, our success is the city's success. Here's another graph that shows the amount of people that come to our events. You can see that Scarecrow continues to draw in the most amount of people. We're very pleased with these numbers for our events for the year. This data demonstrates that more people have visited St. Charles this year than in previous years. While this has impacted businesses in different ways, much like across the country, where some have thrived and others have faced challenges, we remain committed to supporting all of our businesses. By attracting more visitors to St. Charles as a whole, we create opportunities for businesses to welcome them through their doors. I wanted to highlight how streamlined our events have become. As I mentioned a few months ago when I came before you, our events are designed to break even. The sponsorship funds we raise are reinvested directly into the events. This aligns with our mission to drive people into St. Charles, encouraging them to shop, dine, and spend money, while creating a memorable experience that inspires them to return. This boosts tax revenue and contributes to an overall success of our community. On this slide, you'll see how much we spend per attendee. In the purple, you can see how much we spend per attendee, along with comparisons to other communities, and you'll see that in the gray on the right. This shows that we run our events efficiently and manage the funds that we receive from the SSA and hotel motel tax responsibly. In the past, I know that I have acknowledged that tourism calculators can have limitations. However, if attendees from Scarecrow weekend came and just spent $20 at our local downtown businesses, which we all know is a conservative estimate, especially for dining, that would amount to over $1.6 million spent in the downtown in just one weekend. As you can see, we only spent $1.63 per attendee to attend. Here's the breakdown, the math on that. It's not that exciting. Sounds pretty, but there. We're not going to go into each event individually. The 2024 Fine Art Show was a great event. In front of you, some of the stats from the year. We had wonderful foot traffic and positive feedback from both patrons and artists. And here are some of our goals for 2025. We hope to increase our numbers of artists and continue to draw a high-end demographic and continue to connect the visitors to our hotels and businesses. S2C Live enjoyed a highly successful summer with 42 performances. The program aims to fulfill two key goals: bringing people to the plaza, as directed by council, and driving foot traffic to the businesses throughout the city. Our plaza events consistently drew increasing crowds on days of performances. And our goals for 2025 are listed in front of you, with our main goal to help even more businesses and have more community-themed nights or sponsored nights. Jazz Weekend continued to grow in size and popularity with 42 performances. This was a huge increase for us in business participation and very exciting to see this program continue to thrive. And on this slide, you'll see our goals for 2025. We really want to connect with more businesses outside of the downtown and continue to bring in new and exciting musicians that will drive more people into the businesses. Scarecrow Weekend had 120 community-made scarecrows, 40 specials from our local businesses, and was hugely successful for many of our downtown businesses. Our goals and plans for 2025 remain focused on maintaining the same event footprint, strengthening partnerships with community groups, and collaborating with businesses to ensure their continued success to be a part of the event. Our holiday homecoming in 2024 was cold, but we still had really great crowds, and it was a fun event. We are excited to see this community event continue and shine and bring more people to our community. And for 2025, we plan on making a few tweaks to continue this family favorite, and we'll continue to work with businesses to promote their specials and have even more participation. We have 2 more events coming up before you, before the end of the year. First up, thank you for mentioning it already, but will be St. Charles Restaurant Week, which starts today. In front of you are some of the marketing pieces, which we're thrilled about, and we have over 40 participating restaurants this year. And then, of course, we're excited for the 2025 St. Patrick's Day Parade. This event is a huge boost to our restaurant and entertainment businesses, and we're crossing our fingers for really warm weather because we're due for it. And then at this time, I want to show just a quick recap video, and Jim's going to help me. Awesome, thank you. Okay, so for the 2025-2026 fiscal year, we are requesting a 3.75 increase from our previous allocation. This investment is crucial to sustaining and expanding our efforts, ensuring continued economic growth and positive impact to our community. Our work directly contributes to increased tax revenue, underscoring the value that we bring to St. Charles. This modest increase will help us move closer to breaking even with our budget. As highlighted in my presentation, the substantial attendance at our events directly translate to increased revenue for the city. While more visitors come with a higher cost, they also generate greater economic benefits. I've outlined today how we have successfully fulfilled our mission and how we plan to continue to achieve our goal. And now I will welcome any questions that you guys might have.
So, Jenna, thank you very much for the presentation. I want to thank you and your staff for everything that all you guys do, and I appreciate the monthly updates from you as well. So with that, I'll open it up to questions. Go ahead, Brian.
Thank you for your presentation, and thank you to your staff for all their hard work promoting St. Charles. So just a couple questions. You mentioned that you're going to expand your efforts on obviously promoting our community. Do you plan on adding any additional events at the plaza?
We're working on we have some ideas coming, but we have to, before we bring them before you, we need to vet them out a little bit more. But yes, we've seen the success in the plaza, and I think more programming is going to be welcome there.
There's a plan in the works. Okay.
Yes.
And then I noticed you do the 2 shop and crawls. Is it 2 a year that you do?
Yes, last year we did 2. We did one during Small Business Friday, Small Business Saturday, which is the same day as our parade, and then we do one in the spring that's a little bit more grander and very successful.
I just some feedback, and I don't need an answer or anything. It's just Could there be a little bit more focus or expansion on the retail piece, more than just the 2 shop and crawls? I've just heard from some retailers, and it's nice to see them coming here. There's very few of them, and it's great to see them here, and I'd like to keep them here. So I'm just kind of throwing it out there. If we can maybe just expand that just a little bit, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Our retail scene is growing, and it's mighty and has a lot of momentum, and some of them here tonight, and yeah, we're excited to see them continue to grow.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Any other questions? Looking for a motion by Bongard, seconded by Gem. Roll call, please.
Bessner?
Yes.
Kulkaitis?
Yes.
Foltz?
Yes.
Bungard?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Lencioni?
Yes.
Gem?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Jenna. Okay, Larry. Hopefully you have a beautiful presentation like Jenna did.
I know you've been looking forward to this all night long, so.
Item 7A, you have the floor.
So, thank you, Chairman Weber. So a little background on the agenda item tonight. Microsoft SQL Server databases are the underlying data management technology for nearly all of the city's on-premise software applications. You know, so for that reason, it's quite essential that the IS department has the resources available to properly manage its databases. So IS staff have chosen to outsource its SQL Server database administration needs to a company called Straight Path Solutions. And Straight Path's support team has done a great job providing database administration services to the city over a 6-month trial period. So tonight we're recommending the approval of a 9-month agreement with Straight Path Solutions for $37,500.
Larry, why the 9 months? Just out of curiosity, the term.
You asked that question.
Yeah.
So we believe that within 9 months we may be able to reduce the number of hours that we need, and then probably go with a different rate, and it'll most likely be a year agreement after 9 months.
Okay. Any other questions?
Move for approval.
A motion by Wirball, seconded by Petrillo. Roll call, please.
Bessner?
Yes.
Kulkaitis?
Yes.
Foltz?
Yes.
Bungard?
Yes.
Munns?
Yes.
Lencioni?
Yes.
Gem?
Yes.
Petrilla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you very much, Larry. Is there any public comment for tonight? Seeing none. Any additional items from mayor, council, staff? Seeing none, I'm looking, we do not need an executive session, so I'm looking for a motion and second to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Munn, seconded by Lencioni. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.